Dance, dance, dance. Awesome. Oh, we, oh, we, oh. Hey, oh. Hey, oh. Do wop, bop, oh. Alright, so, okay, I'm gonna start. Arjun, Boopy, Boop, etc. I sit here in my hotel room the night before we get married, round two, ha ha ha. And all I can think of is how I got excited and wrote too many L's, so she wrote too many L's and just like struck out. Get nervous at the thought of seeing you in a suit tomorrow and you seeing me. And oops, got excited again. Full bridal mode, gown and all. Every effort in my look is for you, and that's me adjusting for it. Now, single other person who came to celebrate us, and I hope you will forever understand that, and that everything extra I do for you. Gosh, I love you more than you know, but it seems to be written on my sleeve, seeing as how Rakesh nailed his speech and I was, well, bawling, shoulder shrug, during the rehearsal dinner. She was. I shared with Alan how much bringing your family into my life has made me fall in love with you more, something I couldn't dream of being possible, but it's as if every additional moment I get with them, I get to love you more. And I've never felt closer to you. Our hearts are like firestone, and when they say, we feel the love, which is our song, may you feel that way always and forever. I love you, Arjun, in June, because I gave her shit for, saying my name wrong. Arjun Mohan, forever and ever, Mrs. Mohan. was it? Yeah.
Hi. Ooh.
Whoa.
You look smashing.
You look beautiful. You look like an Indo-Greek goddess. That's what you look like.
What?
Like you got like the flowing thing going on. I love your flowers.
Yeah, the flowers.
And I like
This thing.
yeah.
Yeah. And then if you walk behind me, I can't do a circle, but look, you can see the back of my dress. You see it
Whoa.
open? A little open back.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. You're just like a 1,000 out of 10, just like completely beautiful.
Oh, I missed you all day.
How was all day today?
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got ready. We were running a little late.
The hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, she said.
It was just because we had to make it perfect. So, do you like everything?
Where did you even find all this stuff?
Amazon, man.
Really?
That is.
Really?
Yeah. You look so good.
This is beautiful.
Honey. Little watch on.
Well, this is what you're wearing every day from now on, so.
Oh, yeah. This is it.
This is it.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh, thank you.
It's so beautiful. Love you too.
And so I get to see the bride for the first time. I love you. Happy day. How does it feel?
Good.
Yeah? You still nervous?
No.
No.
I'm not nervous now.
You're settled.
I took an anxiety pill. I did.
See, look at this.
Yeah.
Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. And New Rick.
I'm gonna sneak in too.
Oh, well, all right. Come on.
The second picture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me just make that real clear. You look good, Dad.
Well, I had to take my jeans off for this, so.
Yeah, little shiny tux and a little boutonniere.
And a microphone.
Yeah, you've been mic'd. You've been mic'd.
Okay, we're free.
High five.
Yeah. Ready to do this thing?
Welcome, one and all, to the wedding celebration of Alexa O'Connell and Arjun Mohan. Thank you all for joining with us today as we celebrate their marriage. If you have not already done so, you may take your seats. It's you guys too. You can go ahead and sit down. Marriage is perhaps the greatest and most challenging adventure of human relationships. No ceremony can create a marriage. Only you can do that. Through love and patience, through dedication and perseverance, through talking and listening, helping and supporting and believing in each other, through tenderness and laughter, through learning to forgive, learning to appreciate your differences, and by learning to make the important things matter and to let go of the rest. What this ceremony can do is to witness and affirm the choice that you've made to stand together as life mates and partners. From California to Connecticut, we close the distance as we all gather here today. And an even further distance grows smaller as we are fortunate to welcome Arjun's family here from India. As many of you are well aware, something happened in March of this year. Arjun and Alexa came to me 1 week after our very first counseling session and said, "We'd like to get married in 2 weeks." Without hesitation and with a lot of joy, I married these two on March 30th, 2017, and we are here today to celebrate. So you might imagine that today's ceremony will be a little different than most of you may be used to. Today's ceremony is a fusion of American tradition and Indian tradition, specifically what is traditional for Arjun's family in Kerala, India. Together, we have a unique opportunity to engage in the moments of this ceremony that not many people will get to experience. We are going to be part of a unifying of two worlds and celebrating traditions in each. To begin with, I would like to invite the mother of the bride and the mother of the groom to the altar. Alexa and Arjun's mothers will light the Nilavilaka. In Kerala, fire represents the presence of the divine, and the lighting of the lamp symbolizes a dispelling of the darkness. It is a welcoming of happiness with open arms and invoking the presence of God. The fire envelops this ceremony and everyone present with divine grace. We will now have an exchange of the garlands. In ancient times, a girl would choose her groom from many suitors by putting a flower garland around the person that she wanted to spend the rest of her life with. This represented happiness, beauty, love, and sacrifice. Just like the thread holds all of these elements together on the garland, Alexa and Arjun vow to stay together. Similar to rings that are exchanged in American culture, Alexa and Arjun will exchange these garlands as a symbol of their love for one another. Alexa, we'll ask you to place yours first. And now, Arjun, I'll ask that you please place your garland over Alexa to acknowledge her choice in you and to reciprocate that she is the one that you want to spend the rest of your life with. Arjun, I now invite you to apply the sinturam to Alexa's forehead. This is a ritual that is over 5,000 years old. There's a red color here that signifies power and female energy. This is a visible expression of the wife's desire for her husband's longevity. Arjun will now gift Alexa a puduwa, which is a gift of clothing that shows a commitment by the groom to provide for her, to look after her. This sari is safely kept throughout their marriage as a reminder of the commitment that they have for each other. And here we come now to the homily. And can I just say thank you both so much. This has been an amazing blessing to have been working with you and talking with you about your wedding and your marriage. It's been a joy for me to get to know you both better over the past year and in counseling sessions and our mad scramble to get you married back in March. Normally it's not good to have repeat business on weddings. But I've been looking forward to this one for a long time, and I imagine you've been looking forward to it too. I've been looking forward to this wedding because I have been looking forward to this celebration of your love. You've been such a wonderful couple to work with, and to plan this homily was no exception. For those of you who haven't been married by me before, I ask the couple 3 separate questions so that I can learn more about them and share some of that with you. I ask, what is the story of your love? How did you know this person was your life partner? And what is different for you because of this day? They fill out their answers and hand them back to me without knowing what the other person has written. And it's always entertaining to read what each person has written. And I'll be honest with you, Alexa and Arjun, you did not always write the same thing. And as I was going over this wedding service and preparing for this, I couldn't help but think how fitting that was. Of course you wouldn't write the same thing. You wouldn't use the same words. That wouldn't be like you at all. Look at this wedding. It's the most beautiful wedding I've been to, and it's precisely because it's not the same. It's a blending of what is true for both of you. Your answers to the questions I asked reflected that beautiful blending. When I asked about the story of your love, Alexa, you shared about an anxiety attack you had on your first date. You went on to say, Arjun and I would learn how opposites truly attract. As individualistic as we are, we would learn how much we needed each other to become the best versions of ourselves and to grow stronger in overcoming life's obstacles. Arjun, you wrote, I met Alexa in the first 10 days of moving to Cincinnati. My life was a blank canvas, and I could fill it up with anything. But she added color to my life as we grew closer and closer. She helped me as I learned to live in this beautiful but foreign world. You said you didn't have a high school or college sweetheart because your mother would have killed you if you did. But Alexa was able to be all of that and more rolled up into one experience. You said life was no longer a blank canvas and you could see painting your life together. Not the same answers, but both true and both part of a beautiful love story. Then I asked how you knew it would be this person for you. Arjun, you said there were many things that led up to this, but you talked specifically about a time that Alexa joined you in a cultural celebration. And she embraced your culture and heritage so smoothly in a way that made you see her that she as no longer just your girlfriend, but something much, much more. Alexa, you wrote, I caught feelings after that very first date. Then you went on to talk about his mom and how special and important it was for you that the two of you got closer and closer and closer. Not the same answers, but both true. and both part of a beautiful love story. Lastly, I asked what would be different because of this day. Alexa, you wrote, nothing. And that's the best part about it. We've already been married. You said nothing is different for you because of this day, but everything is different for you because of Arjun. And that difference is embracing a never-ending love and commitment to the man who makes me feel complete, happy, and always loved, my husband. Arjun, you wrote, we became husband and wife a few months ago. We love it, and we look forward to many, many more years. But today marks the day when my family in India and in the U.S. accepts Alexa as my wife and my companion. This is the day that they welcome her into the family I have known and loved for the last 28 years. She's one of theirs now, their sister, aunt, and granddaughter. This is the day when our families become one. Not the same thing, but still true and still part of a beautiful love story. And that is what this wedding ceremony is. And even more importantly, that is what a marriage is. It is not the same for both people. It is taking your true stories, your true experiences, your cultures, your differences, and bringing them fully together. This wedding is yours, Alexa. This wedding is yours in many other ways, Arjun. But this marriage is only true because it is both of yours. Whether you exchange rings or a garland, the essence of your wedding and your marriage is not that it is the same. It is that it is deeply true and full of love. And that is a wedding worth having twice. A love worth celebrating in all of its beautiful and many different forms. Because of today, this love is no longer separate. It's not the same, but it is unified into the one love that you share now for one another. At this time, I would like to invite the father of the bride to the altar. Marty, please take your daughter's right hand and place it on Arjun's right hand. Then place your right hand on top of Alexa's and your left underneath Arjun's. This ritual binds Alexa and Arjun together and is a blessing from the Father on their union as he gives away his beloved daughter to the care of her groom. Thank you, Marty. Alexa and Arjun will now walk around this table 3 times, the first time being with the women in the groom's life, and the second and third around by themselves. This ritual seals their commitment to each other as it is done around the presence of the god of fire. Will the mother of the groom, the sister-in-law of the groom, and the cousin please join us at the altar? I'd like to invite those same family members back up as we have some gifts to exchange. Ajitha will be tying a necklace around Alexa as a gift. This is a gift to show her love and support of their relationship. Neetha will place a ring on Alexa's toe as an ornament that helps in the balancing of the energy and the life force in a woman. This symbolizes the groom's family and the groom himself wanting the best health for his wife. As we conclude the ceremony this evening, our last Kerala tradition is to welcome up both sides of the family to feed Alexa and Arjun a small spoonful of a milk and fruit blend. You may be seated. So we invite the family to come forward at this time for the feeding ritual. Food is life-sustaining, and milk and fruits are considered pure in Hindu mythology. The elders feeding newlyweds signifies that they will be looked after and will have a support system to help them in their times of need. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time I invite you all to stand and cheers to Mr. and Mrs. Mohan. Please take the flowers left on your seat and throw them towards the bride and groom as they walk down the aisle.
Give them like a few seconds.
Someone was ready.
Thank you.
When it's not always raining, there'll be days like this. When there's no one complaining, there'll be days like this. Everything falls into place like the flick of a switch. Well, my mama told me there'll be days like this. When you don't need to worry, there'll be days.
പിന്നെ ജീവിതം തുന്തനാനേന തുടക്കമായി ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the new riff. At this moment, it looks like the bridal party is ready to come in. So without further ado, let's go ahead and announce them. The first couple that we got is Amy Reader with Dan O'Connell. Alright, and up next we got Nora Coyle with Midun Mohan. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to the maid of honor, Samantha York, and the best man, Arjun Gopal. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we would like for everybody to rise on their feet as we welcome Mr. and Mrs. Mohan. Ladies and gentlemen, and there you have it. Let's give a big round of applause one more time. All right, at this point, the bridal party, please have a seat. The newlyweds will be doing their first dance. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Big round of applause for the newlyweds. All right, ladies and gentlemen, looks like dinner is almost just about ready. Sally's will be coming out here very shortly. But before anything, we have the father of the bride, Mr. Martin O'Connell. Big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Good evening and welcome. We are honored and delighted to have you with us this evening. We hope that you too find the joy and the delight that we feel. A few nights ago, Alexa said she was anxious about tonight. Not the getting married part. They'd already done that once. Rather, it was the magnitude of the event, and more specifically, the people who would be here this evening. People who were lifelong friends and colleagues from work, sorority sisters and BFFs, neighbors and family, and people that she had never met before. She realized that each and every one of you were connected to her, that in one way or another, you were all part of her past, part of her present, and part of her future. Now, since every moment of this event in the past month or so has been meticulously organized and carefully scripted, I'm a little bit surprised that she's given me 5 minutes of unscripted time. I tend to ramble on. So wisely, she decided to schedule me in front of a hungry crowd patiently waiting for dinner. If it was her alone, I would not have this opportunity. So I'll stick with 3 short anecdotes, and I hope that you too find them connected. Nearly 40 years ago, on a warm fall night in a suburb less than 10 miles from here, just north across the river, I married a girl I met in Cincinnati, a girl from the eastern suburbs of Cleveland who was the love of my life, the mother of the bride, my girl, Cindy. Flash forward to a little over a year ago when Arjun and Alexa made a belated Mother's Day trip to Cleveland. I was working in my den on a Saturday morning, and Arjun came down and joined me for morning coffee. We were the only two awake, which is not an unlikely event in our house on a weekend morning. He wanted to make a request. In short, he asked me for my daughter's hand in marriage. He asked me for my blessing to marry Alexa, my girl. That he wanted to marry Alexa was not a surprise to me. The fact that he asked me, that was a surprise. It was perhaps the most honorable and unexpected moment that I've known. A short while later, he asked Cindy the same questions, and later on, then Dan. Now, it's not that any of us could have deterred Alexa or kept her from proceeding with what she wanted to do. But it was that moment of tradition that spoke to the character and the honor of Arjun. Finally, one more flashback. When she was very young, Alexa asked me a question that has stuck with me throughout the years. She asked me, "What was it like when you were alive?" I don't remember how I answered that question at that point in time, but I do know how I would answer it today. When I was alive, it felt very much like this evening. A warm autumn night in Cincinnati with family and friends and all the people with whom we share connections. when a young man married a girl from the eastern suburbs of Cleveland, and he was the love of her life. And so this is what it feels to be alive.
Thank you. Okay, well, as he said, my name is Samantha York. I have known Alexa since college. Oops, I am on the wrong page. 1 second. We met our sophomore year of college. We were in the same sorority, Phi Mu. Give the sign. Do it. And we ended up living right across the hall from each other sophomore year. We instantly bonded over our love of all things Cleveland, candy, popcorn, dancing, and themed parties, along with some other college activities that I won't go into right now. And then we continued living together for our junior and senior years through college. We ended up both staying in Cincinnati after we graduated, and but then after college, some new jobs took me and my husband back to Cleveland. And I remember the moment we decided to move back to Cleveland, I was excited, but at the same time, I just started crying. And my husband comes to me and says, "You've wanted this. Like, why are you crying?" And I instantly, Alexa came into my head, and I just thought, I don't want to leave Alexa, though. So we've been together for so long. She's always there for me when I needed her. And I just thought of, like, all of our things that we did together, our Sunday night family dinners that we had together, which was really her just bringing food to me and my husband at the time. We didn't really contribute much at all, but she would just come over with that. Our shopping trips, and still trying to act like we were in college all the time. The biggest thing I regret missing out on, though, when I wasn't in Cincinnati was when she met Arjun. I remember the first time meeting him, I said something along the lines of, "You better be good to her because she deserves it." And I can honestly say that he's been more than good to her. I've been with her for many of her ups and downs, and I can honestly say that this is the happiest and most at peace she's ever been that I've seen her. Their personalities are really a perfect mix, so I'll just kind of explain what I see on this end. They're both naturally happy people. Arjun's laid-back attitude is exactly what Alexa needs in some of her not-so-laid-back moments. She also just has the biggest heart, though, and weirdly enough, some of the times I see it best is when she is with our dog and and our son. And I can say the same for Arjun. If you have not seen him interact with a baby, I mean, it'll just melt your heart. So be a lookout later tonight with some of these kids roaming around here. And they're both very loyal to those that they love. Arjun treated me and my husband like his good friends from the moment he met us. And we all know that one of Alexa's best qualities is making people feel like they've been friends forever. I'm always in awe of her confidence and the way that she can just own a room when she walks into it. And when this girl does something, she goes all in, because I don't know if you noticed, but she made her own wedding cupcakes for her own wedding. So she gives everything her all. And Arjun and the marriage will be nothing different than that. I'll end this with 2 examples of things that I've seen that kind of prove to me that this is a true and genuine and real love. The first was we were in Atlantic City for her bachelorette party, and Nora put together a little questionnaire and had Arjun answer it and videotape himself with these questions, and we saw how well Alexa was able to answer them too. And I won't give away all your answers. They were very, very sweet, and Alexa did okay on matching them up. But one of the last one was like, how do you see yourself in the future? Where do you see yourself? And he just started describing them of when they're old, and I think it was sitting on the porch when they're old, and some funny comments, and just the way he was speaking about her was just, I mean, I think we were all in tears just sitting on like the bed in the hotel room watching it. And then, but also on the other side of that scene, Alexa gazing at the screen, looking at him and like thinking about how much she loved him. It was just, really obvious in that moment. And the other moment was one time we were driving to dinner, the 3 of us, and I see Alexa just doing she's driving because she always gets car sick and she has to drive. But I see her, she's in the driver's seat, she's doing her typical ghetto rapping, dancing that she does, and then Arjun just in the passenger seat, just kind of nodding along to it. And they were just, both naturally themselves. And what's good for me is that she is the exact same person as when I met her 10 years ago. And as a friend, that's what you always want to see when they find their true love. You don't want them changing for each other. You don't want them changing the other person. And they're both exactly who they are with each other, and they both love each other and accept each other for who they are. So cheers to a beautiful future and continuing to bring the best out of each other. And I'll pass it over to the best man.
Good evening, all. First, allow me to introduce myself. I'm Arjun. It's both an honor and a pleasure to be standing beside Arjun today as his best man. I still remember the first time I met him. It was in a watch store in Calicut, in Kerala. And I was actually arguing with the salesman for selling my mom a defective watch. So that was certainly one of the worst first impression to make. So he walked into the store with his dad, and we saw our parents talking, and soon we learned that we'll be going to the same college. And not only that, we were also distant cousins. We didn't know till then, like for years. So, and after that, he was my first friend in college, obviously. And thanks to him, I was able to make a lot more friends. And also, I was really homesick. So away from my family, he was the closest I had. And it was really great having him there. And after that, after graduating from college, we worked together for 1 year. And that was in Cognizant, and that was nice too. And after that, he applied to University of Southern California, and I came here to University of Cincinnati. And we've not been talking for like 3 years, but after that, it's destiny that made us meet again after 3 years when he moved to Cincinnati, when he got a job here. There's an old saying about friendship that reads, it's one of the blessings of old friends that you can afford to be stupid with them. And goodness, that couldn't be truer for me and Arjun. Arjun really is the best friend I could have ever asked for. We were roomies for 4 years, and I've not had even one argument. Seriously, is that good? And it's very easy being friends with him. We have had times when we didn't talk for months, like when we were in college. We used to call once every few years, so that's how bad we were both. But the best part is that when we meet the next time, we could pick up from where we left off. And by the way, I could go into all the funny and stupid stories of us, like us jumping from a running train on a rainy day and falling almost face down on the platform. But I would rather concentrate on the good moves smart moves he has made. His friendship, the relationship he has had with his family, his career. But really, the smartest move he has made is marrying you, Alexa. When you two started dating, I clearly knew where this relation was headed to. When we used to go out on Friday evenings when I was in Cincinnati, he couldn't stop talking about you, and he would bring up your name every 2 minutes. So when he came to me telling me that he would be proposing, my only response was, well, it's about time. Arjun has always been my right hand throughout the biggest moments of my life. And I can't wait to be able to watch everything beautiful unfold for the two of you. Let's toast to the best decision Arjun has ever made. I wish you guys a lifetime of love, happiness, and success.
Chicago, Chicago, that toddling town. Chicago, Chicago, I will show you around. I love it, bet you bottom dollar you lose the blues in Chicago.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully everybody enjoyed dinner. It was pretty much delicious. Anyways, we're going to be moving on forward. We're going to be doing the father and daughter dance. Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause.
തെളിമാനം മഴവില്ലിൻ നിറമണിയും നേരം നിറമാർന്നൊരു കനവെന്നിൽ തെളിയുന്ന പോലെ പുഴയോരം തഴുകുന്നീ തണുനീറൻ കാറ്റും പുളകങ്ങൾ ഇഴനെയ്തൊരു കുഴലൂതിയ പോലെ കുളിരേകും കനവെന്നിൽ കതിരാടിയ കാലം മനതാരിൽ മധുമാസം തളിരാടിയ നേരം അകമരുവും മയിലിണകൾ തുയിലുണരും കാലം എന്നകതാരിൽ അനുരാഗം പകരുന്ന യാമം അഴകേ അഴകിൽ തീർത്തൊരു ശിലയഴകേ മലരേ എന്നുയിരിൽ വിടരും പനിമലരേ.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause to Ajita and Arjun. All right, single ladies, how's it looking? Alexa, how's it looking? Are we missing any ladies? All right, what you think? Is there any single ladies hiding?
Don't say your name, I bet you have a cool one, baby. You wanna play, just whisper in my ear and maybe some nights I remember, some nights I forget.
All right, how's it looking? If you want to give me a thumbs up and let me know you're ready, or are we missing a single lady anywhere? Are we good? Yeah? Single ladies, are you ready? No. Single ladies, are you ready? I like it. Come on. On the count of 3. 1, 2, and 3.